Hey guys, welcome back to my summer signing series. Today is Tottenham, and I believe it could be the last team I do in the Premier League, and then we're going to move across Europe, start doing some other big clubs from different leagues. Now, Tottenham is an interesting one. They've done quite well in the transfer window so far, but I still think there's a couple of things they could do to improve what is, I would say, a very, very strong but young squad. Very inexperienced, but there's some experienced players in there. It's difficult to explain what I've got in my mind right now. I think there's a real good mix at Tottenham, and it's quite annoying, actually. I'm a little bit upset by it because obviously I'm an Arsenal fan and they are our main rivals. And I've got to be honest, guys, there isn't actually much I would do to this squad. It is very strong, and the signings they've made in Wanyama from Southampton, you know, he could always play instead of Dyer or Dembele. You've also got Janssen coming in. He looks like a very nice young striker. Complements Kane quite nicely if they're going to go with two up top, or if he's just a backup. I don't really know how that's going to work. But we're going to go ahead and try and bring in a couple of players here and there. I have identified one position where maybe they could be a bit stronger. I mean, Mason's decent. They've got quite a few youngsters that could play in CDM, but Wanyama's there. So I'm thinking maybe a player that can play in the centre of midfield and on the wings and behind the striker. A real versatile midfielder, kind of like Dele Alli. Maybe a backup to Dele Alli. Also, maybe a centre-back. They've got Wimmer there. They've got Vertonghen and Alderweireld, but there isn't many other options. Well, there isn't any, to be honest. They've only got a right-back on the reserves here. So let's go have a look at the targets I've got. I've done a bit of research, and there isn't many rumours out there right now for Tottenham in terms of centre-backs. The only real rumour going around right now is this Nkudu guy. Nkudu. I'm probably going to say his name wrong so many times in this video, but another young player, very pacey, of course, from Marseille, can play either side. He's more of a right-sided player now, I believe, so again, maybe a backup to Lamela. But that deal looks pretty much done, as I can see on the internet. Unfortunately, I'm not able to sign him up because he's recently joined, so that will not be a signing we can make in this episode. But this deal looks like it is going to happen for around 9 million, I believe. There's quite a few numbers going around at the moment. I think he looks like a decent player. I've never watched him play, though, but I've looked at some of his stats from last season. It looks like he could be okay, you know. Now, this guy, I know Tottenham have some sort of partnership with Real Madrid, don't they? Asensio is one of their younger players that's been out on loan. He's gone back to Real Madrid this summer. Is he going to get game time next season? I'm not so sure. So maybe Tottenham could use that partnership they've got with Real Madrid and potentially get him out on loan. And he can play in a lot of different positions. So he is that versatile player that I was talking about. I'm not sure if he'd be very good sitting back, kind of like what Mason does. But going forward, playing on the wings, he could be a real asset. So we'll definitely try and sign him up just out of interest to see how much he would cost. Now, more importantly, centre-backs. This was a bit more difficult for me because, again, there's no rumours going on right now, but I do think they need to bring someone else in. Mangala, maybe out of favour at Man City, hasn't looked great since joining. I don't know if Pep Guardiola's going to use him too much. We then got Okore, obviously has gone down with Aston Villa, and when Okore was playing, he looked really decent, so maybe they could pick him up. Ashley Williams apparently linked with Everton at the moment for around 10 million. Maybe Tottenham could jump in on that because Ashley Williams, in my opinion, would strengthen any side in the Premier League. He's a very good player. And then we've got Cabral. Now, this guy, I picked him because not only is he Argentinian, and that obviously, you know, mixes well with Pochettino. Maybe they would have a really good relationship because of that. But also because he was actually really good last season. I believe, actually, in Ultimate Team, he got a Team of the Season card, which says a lot. It does actually say quite a lot. He's a little bit older as well. They do need some older players in the squad. Maybe they could try and sign him up. But to start things off, we are going to get scout reports back, and then we'll make some offers. Okay, so let's take a look, and we'll see what kind of ratings we're looking at here. So Mangala, 79, Okore, 77, Williams, 81, Cabral, 77. Actually, I thought he was a little bit higher than that. Nkudu is actually 75, and so is Asensio. So we're going to go ahead and make an offer for this guy. He's going to be so cheap, unbelievably cheap. Look at that, 6 to 7 million. We'll just go ahead and throw in 7. Let's just get this deal over the line. Of course, he's not actually at this club. He's at Real Madrid, so he would cost a lot more for sure. But definitely a player I would be looking out for if I was looking for a young central attacking midfielder or maybe a winger as well. Nkudu, obviously, we cannot sign which centre-back do I go for? I personally, out of these four, would go for Williams. He's a little bit older, but he's still fantastic. He had a really good Euros, and I think he would fit in at Tottenham very well. I really do. Although I don't think he would quite get into the team with Vertonghen and, what's his name, Alderweireld in the team, but could be a really nice backup. But it's so difficult, isn't it? Because he should be playing every game at his club. I don't know. But we'll go ahead and throw in a 10 million offer to start things off. But maybe because he is getting on a bit, it wouldn't be so bad that he missed a couple of games here and there while on the bench. The next option I would go with is definitely Mangala, especially because Vertonghen seems a bit injury prone. Mangala's a left-sided player like Vertonghen. It's kind of a like-for-like switch almost. Again, a 10 million offer. Let's just see what they say. So first of all, Man City have accepted a £10 million offer for Mangala. I'm quite surprised actually. Ashley Williams is going to cost us around 17 million, so I think just because of that, we'll actually go ahead and decline it, and we'll probably end up going for Mangala instead. And Espanyol have actually said yes to the £7 million offer, which is completely ridiculous. This guy's going to be worth a hell of a lot more if this was to happen. We'll go with important first team player. Hopefully he will sign up. We'll get Mangala as well as important first team player, because in reality that's what he's going to be. And there we have it, guys. Both contracts were accepted. So we've signed Mangala and Asensio. That's really good. We'll go ahead and throw them into the team and have a look at their stats. So does Mangala go ahead of Wimmer? I think he probably does. I think Mangala obviously is still a very good player. Maybe at Man City it didn't just quite work out. Maybe if he moved clubs he would get some good form going. And then Asensio, actually his stats aren't great physically, but it's on the ball. Very nice curve, ball control, decent passing as well there, 80 short pass. Wouldn't get into the team straight away, of course, but would definitely do a really great job of coming in when needed. And of course the same with Mangala if someone like Vertonghen got injured. And I think this is probably a little bit unnecessary. I genuinely feel like the signings Tottenham have made are more than good enough, and they should go on and do another really good job this season. I think that they could easily come in that top four again if they play like they did last year. They've got so many great players in there. I don't actually feel like you need to do too much. Janssen coming in with Wanyama, I think that's pretty much okay, to be honest. So I could say this has been the easiest one so far. So let me know what league you want me to go to next. I'm thinking maybe the Bundesliga, or maybe we'll go to Spain. I'm not really sure. So leave your comments below, and we'll be starting those teams very soon. So thank you for watching, and that has been the Premier League summer signings.